Hi everyone, welcome to Anmol Power BI Corner. This is my first ever podcast in which I will be talking about Microsoft Fabric, and the guest speaker for this podcast is ChatGPT. So till now you have might have watched many podcasts in which there will be some guest speaker who are currently working or at some position. So this is a bit different. In this podcast, I am going to ask ChatGPT to be a guest speaker for my video, and I will ask question about Microsoft Fabric. Basically, I will test the knowledge of the ChatGPT about the Microsoft Fabric, and I will also share my experience along with. So let's see how it went. So let's directly move toward ChatGPT. So I have entered few prompts earlier. First, I asked ChatGPT that are you aware about Microsoft Fabric? So my ChatGPT has provided me a description about Microsoft Fabric that he is aware about it, and then I asked ChatGPT to pretend like a Microsoft Fabric analytics engineer who has cleared the Microsoft Fabric exam, and then I asked ChatGPT to be my guest speaker. So let's start the session, and I've already noted down few questions for to ask ChatGPT. So let's directly begin with it. So my first question will be, how did you get started with Microsoft Fabric and what has your journey been like so far? Okay, so ChatGPT has started answering the question. You can read on the screen that my journey with Microsoft Fabric began a few years ago when I was exploring ways to streamline and unify data management and analytics within my organization. And then there is a bit description about it. So basically, Microsoft Fabric was launched in May 2023, and it was particularly the combination of various services which were already existing, and there was few new services which has been introduced within Microsoft Fabric. So combining all these stuffs which are related to data analytics, like we can say Power BI, Data Activator, Lakehouse, Warehouse, Microsoft has combined it all at a one place, and they have introduced Microsoft Fabric. Now let's move toward our second questions. Let's ask ChatGPT what is Microsoft Fabric. And as ChatGPT provide a very long answer, so let's add one more line that provide a short answer. Okay, so basically what ChatGPT knows about Microsoft Fabric is a Microsoft Fabric is a comprehensive data analytics platform which unifies various data management and analysis tools into a single lake-centric SaaS solution, and it streamlines the process of collecting, storing, analyzing, and visualizing data, enabling organization to derive real-time insights and make data-driven decisions more efficiently. So yeah, this is absolutely correct. Now let's move toward our next question. Now we will ask ChatGPT that what are the key components and what are the capabilities of Microsoft Fabric. And again, we don't want a lengthy answer. We just want to know the overview of it. So let's enter our prompt. Okay, so as you can see, Microsoft Fabric has provided us the key components and capabilities. It says that it has unified analytics, lake-centric architecture, real-time intelligence, AI integration, custom workloads, compliance, and security. So this is the thing which from which we can say that we should never be totally dependent on AI tools like this, because it might contain the latest information, but sometimes it not provide us the complete information. Was some information which might lack. So basically, when we talk about the services provided within Microsoft Fabric, so the main services are like Synapse Engineering, Synapse Data Science, Synapse Real Time Intelligence, then Power BI, Data Activator. So these are some major services provided within Microsoft Fabric. And if you simply search on Google, So we'll search it, and if you go to image section, you can simply find this image which will contain all the major services provided within Microsoft Fabric. So you can see we have Synapse Data Warehousing, Synapse Data Engineering, Data Factory, Synapse Data Science, Synapse Real Time Analytics, and Power BI. And all the data which we are going to use will be getting stored into one lake. So these are some main key components of Microsoft Fabric. So ChatGPT here failed to exactly answer what we needed. What are the key services? Now let's move ahead. Let's ask ChatGPT that how does Microsoft Fabric simplify the data integration and transformation process? Let's see what it says. Okay, so Microsoft Fabric simplifies data integration and transformation process through its unified platform and powerful tools. And there are some other descriptions. So basically, in Microsoft Fabric, when we talk about data integration and transformation, we have a data factory workload which contain data flows and data pipelines. So data flows are basically a similar interface related as same as Power Query editor, which you might have used in Microsoft Power BI. And then we have data pipeline, using which we can import data from various sources and dump it into warehouse or lakehouse wherever we want. And we can also ingest data flows or notebooks within the data pipeline itself. So these are some ways using which Microsoft Fabric is simplifying data integration and transformation process. Now let's move ahead. So we'll ask that can you explain the roles of Data Factory and Synapse Analytics within the Microsoft Fabric ecosystem? So as we have already discussed, the main role of Data Factory is it contains two items. One is data flow and second is data pipeline. And then we have Synapse Analytics, which contains Synapse Data Engineering and Data Science. So in Synapse Data Engineering, we have mainly lakehouse and notebooks, and then we can also store the data into warehouse. And there is main key difference between lakehouse and warehouse is that in lakehouse we can store structured, unstructured, as well as semi-structured data, but in warehouse we can only store structured data. And also lakehouse provide only the read access, but warehouse provide read and write both access. So according to our requirement, we have to see what is more suitable for you, and then we will move ahead well in a project. So now let's move toward next question, that how does Power BI fit into the Microsoft Fabric suite and how it's going to change. So basically when it's come to Power BI is already existing. We have Power BI desktop, Power BI services, Power BI mobile app. So in Microsoft Fabric, there is no major launch in or any change in Power BI, but yeah, there are some features like Git integration, Power BI desktop developer mode, deployment pipelines, which are will be going to be a key change in future, because using these feature we can multiple developers can collaborate on a single report, and then we have different stages to deploy our items like development, test, production. So in this way, Power BI is going to change, and also we are getting the option for Copilot uh, in the Microsoft Fabric itself. So using it, we can create automatic reports, or we can analyze our data. So these are some major change which are going to come within Power BI. So now let's move toward our next question. So can you share some examples of how businesses can leverage Power BI within Fabric for enhanced analytics? So as we talked about Copilot. So basically, if there is someone who don't have any technical knowledge and who don't want advanced report, but they simply have some, let's say, sales data, and they want to create a basic report or analyze the data that how much sales occurred in a particular region, so they can simply enter the prompt in natural language, and then they can generate report. Also developers can create dex measures using Copilot. After it, let's say I am working as a data analytics company and I have a major client on which I have to deploy multiple resources. So in that case, Microsoft Power BI desktop developer mode will be a key factor, and Git integration, using which we can keep track of our files and multiple developers can collaborate at a same time. So these are few things which are going to change within Power BI, and in future it will go to advanced level. So now let's move toward our next question. So if you have basic knowledge about Microsoft Fabric, then you must be aware of that Microsoft Fabric, data is getting stored within one lake. So the main question arises for data security and compliances. So you can see Microsoft has already multi-factor authentication, then role-based access control. We can define, if you are aware of role level security, object level security in Power BI, we can define the role that who can access the data at a particular time, and in that way we can secure our data. And with the one lake, one security comes two. So data will going to be more secure uh, as compared to previous versions. So yeah, data will be secured. Now let's say, what if one lake get crashed someday, how we can access data? So the main thing behind the Microsoft Fabric is that they want to unify all the things, unify the data where it get stored. Only one copy of data will be available, so that the data size will get reduced and we don't have to create multiple copies of our data. So let's say if someday one lake will get crashed, then how we can access the our data? So basically what happens is Microsoft prevent backup files, and there are various versions which get stored at the Microsoft end. So we can reach out to them, we can contact the support, and local copies will be also available. So your data will be secured, your data is backed up. In case you lost your data, then Microsoft will provide you the backup file. So these are few ways in which you can access your data. So now let's move toward our next question. What can be expected in terms of future development and enhancement for Microsoft Fabric? So basically there are so many services within Microsoft Fabric which are right now in preview, but in future when they comes in general availability, so it will totally going to change the data analytics domain. Because within Microsoft Fabric, if you explore, then there are so many industry solutions which are already pre-created. All the machine learning models are pre-created, reports are pre-created. We just have to enter our data, and everything will get created automatically. So in that way it is going to change the industry level solutions. After it will also provide you a single platform using which you can create a end-to-end data analytics project, or we can say data science project, from importing the data, then transforming it, or if you want to create interactive reports and dashboards, or let's say if you want to create machine learning model, everything you can do within Microsoft Fabric itself. So we can say that Microsoft Fabric is future of data analytics. Now let's move toward our next question. So are there any upcoming features or improvement that you are particularly excited about? So the main feature, if I say I am excited about, is first thing is the Git integration in Power BI, so that multiple developers can collaborate on a single report at the same time. Because many time it happens that if let's say I make any changes, and then other person is working on something else, and if we want to merge the files, then we have to copy paste thing, or we have to rework. But with the introduction of Git integration, we can simply deploy the items, and the branch will get merged, and all the changes will reflect in both at both the end. And similarly, if we talk about Copilot, then it will also going to change the domain a lot, because all the basic things can be done using natural language process. So we can say we have to transform ourselves, we have to learn advanced skill, so that we can survive in this domain. So yeah, that's all about Microsoft Fabric. I want to thank our guest speaker ChatGPT for providing us such insights, and also you can check out various other videos on my YouTube channel. I keep posting content related to Microsoft Fabric and Power BI. And thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Thank you.